A short reflection for the 5th Sunday of Easter. St. John chapter 15 and the first verse. I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. A famous and a beautiful icon and a genuinely interesting idea is to be found across the Christian Orthodox world. It depicts the vine, that great unfolding and entangling story of St. John chapter 15. It depicts the vine with Jesus seated on the trunk and the disciples seated on the branches. There is both an oddity and an innocence about it that makes it possible to remember it by making it impossible to forget. The icon has a number of different versions, of course, but this is the recurrent theme. Jesus, the Son of God, branching out into the disciples who bear fruit in and through their life and work in the world of God's creation. Sitting, of course, is a posture and a picture of authority. Nobody in the ancient world stands if it is hierarchically possible to sit, or sits if it is hierarchically required to stand. That's how the society works. The position and the posture both carry meaning. Jesus has devolved to the disciples the role of teacher, and perhaps even more important, that of equal. It is for us in the post-resurrection time, therefore, to be sitters of hope for others and for ourselves. We are to teach by who we are, as well as teach by what we do. There's something entirely human and entirely natural about all of this picture as well. Sitting together to sort things out and to move them forward. Sitting together to be able to listen and to be able to offer a shaft of hope in a sea of darkness. This is often how we find ourselves doing this sort of work of sorting things out effectively. And more, this will be the way we have to do it as we emerge from the dark, dark cloud of COVID-19. Sitting together on branches of the tree to listen to one another and to begin to put together the jigsaw pieces. There are so many experiences that have been lost already to our generation. Not only will they have to be relearned, they will have to be learned from scratch. People, I would suggest, have withdrawn largely into their own generation. Communication and friendship and argument across generations has become stilted and stunted, and in many cases too painful for people of fragility to bear. Young people simply do not have the opportunities to test and to try their horns as they used to. Home, with no disrespect for home, home has become for many families a place from which to live more than a place in which to be confined. But everything is now supposed to happen at home: work, learning, privacy, community. In the days that have become bygone days, people used to be able to go out and to come back with tales to tell of how that morning or that day or that evening had been for them. And it was these shared experiences that formed the weave of family life, and many of us really were the better for it. But to go back to the vine, to get to this point of fruitful being and of fruitful teaching, there needs to be constant tending. Grapes do not form, and grapes do not grow without cultivation and intervention. And of course, tending not only requires fertilization, but also pruning, and the deliberate and purposeful cutting off of the fruitless branches. Farming is not a sentimental profession, neither vines nor sheep, and both of these feature prominently in this Easter season. Vines function and flourish also through the concentration of mineral energy that is to be found in the local soil. It is this soil and this energy that deliver the taste of the grape and eventually the taste of the wine. Vines function for a purpose, and their purpose is not decorative, it is productive. The grapes do not sit on the vine, the grapes go out into the world. How then does the vine, yet another picture that Jesus offers so that we might understand him better, how does the vine give us hope? Just listen again in your own heart to the gospel reading. It offers us belonging. Anyone who dwells in me, as I dwell in him, bears much fruit. It offers us generosity. If you dwell in me, and my words dwell in you, ask whatever you want, and you shall have it. Another thing it offers us is personal responsibility. Dwell in me as I in you. And it offers us community. No branch can bear fruit by itself, but only if it remains united with the vine. And perhaps most of all, in the developing roadmap and landscape of Easter, it offers us glory. This is how my Father is glorified. You are to bear fruit in plenty and so be my disciples. And this connects the resurrection back with the passion. But of course it never left the passion. Not even, and perhaps especially not, in the season of Easter.